From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. Here what was Hurricane Nicole, now it's a tropical storm, but it did make landfall earlier this morning as a Category 1 storm with winds of 75 miles per hour just south of Vero Beach, Florida. Back here a little bit closer to home, no watches or warnings for us in the Midlands, but still tropical storm warning in effect for parts of the low country of South Carolina and the coastal waters of South Carolina as well. Here's the intermediate advisory from the National Hurricane Center in regards to Tropical Storm Nicole. Not a lot of change, as you would expect, but we'll get that next advisory later this morning. It does have winds of 60 miles per hour, and it's going to turn eventually more towards the north and east. And as it does make its way into South Carolina, probably a depression at that point. Spaghetti model's pretty good agreement, so we do expect this to have at least some impact for us across the Midlands starting this afternoon. Notice those showers starting to move through the Midlands. Could be a couple of rumbles of thunder, especially this evening. We could have some severe weather as well. That's very typical for landfalling tropical systems. During the overnight hours of Friday into Friday morning, you're talking about still that chance for severe weather, but it does start to shift a little bit more towards the east, towards the PD and the low country of South Carolina. Still have some rain around, it looks like Friday afternoon, but late Friday afternoon, early Friday evening, the rain should start to move on out, and we should see a little bit of sunshine on Saturday as we start to dry up. Second half of the weekend will be noticeably cooler. A little bit of a closer look at our forecast as we go through the rest of the day. Those rain showers continue to move in, especially during the afternoon hours. Heavy downpours, moderate rainfall will be possible. There could even be a little bit of flooding in some of those typical areas that do have flood issues. Tonight, tomorrow, really through the morning hours of Friday, there will be that chance for some strong thunderstorms, some of which could produce some tornadic activity. Again, that's what we'll be watching pretty closely. Going through early Friday morning, notice that threat for severe weather does shift a little bit more towards the east. And then we'll have more rain, it looks like, as we go into the late morning hours, into the early afternoon hours. And then we was just talking about it, once it moves out a little bit farther towards the north, our rain chances will decrease Friday afternoon and certainly into Friday evening. As far as those rainfall totals are concerned, over the next 7 days, anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain. Some areas could get a little bit more, and it's been so dry this fall. We certainly can use the rain, but we don't want the severe weather. Slight risk for excessive rainfall in the low country of South Carolina. That will be the area that will have at least the highest threat for some flooding. Not really expecting tropical storm force winds. The odds are pretty small for us here across the Midlands, but if it were to happen, if it were to occur, here's kind of the time frame: late tonight, early Friday, and then as it kind of sits there as a depression, the tropical storm force winds. Not really expecting anything like that. But here are the number odds, if you like the number odds. Very small risk for tropical storm force winds across the Midlands. But the greatest threat for us will be that severe weather threat, including the tornadic threat. We'll be in that right front quadrant, and that's typically the area that has the most tornado activity. So we'll be watching that closely during the overnight hours and certainly into the morning hours. There will be that threat for severe weather this evening and tonight, and then it shifts a little bit farther towards the east on Friday. Same thing with the tornado risk all across the Midlands this evening and tonight, and then it does kind of shift a little bit more towards the east on Friday. Here's our 7-day forecast. Expecting high temperatures, upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Showers, thunderstorms developing this evening and this afternoon. Same thing for tomorrow, but gradually those rain chances do decrease tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. Maybe a little bit of clearing. Upper 60s to near 70 on Saturday under mostly sunny skies, so we kind of dry up. Some cooler air moves into the Midlands, it looks like later in the day on Saturday. Mid-50s for highs for the second half of the weekend. Low 50s Monday, Tuesday. Not going to rule out a little bit of rain on Tuesday, and then we're slightly warmer on Wednesday, but still below normal with highs in the upper 50s. And it looks like these cooler than normal conditions will continue November 17th through November 23rd. But short term, we have to deal with Tropical Storm Nicole and the impacts and threats from it, including that threat for tornadic activity, it looks like this evening and during the overnight hours through Friday morning.